I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. and today's video is going to be a short video announcement. I'm going to say like 5 minutes or less, but sometimes I say that and I lie. Level Up Retreat is back. Level Up Retreat, I've had a lot of you asking, is Level Up Retreat happening? When is it happening? Why is it so late in the year and we don't know? How can we plan? What should we do? And then a lot of you who are like, I've never gone to Level Up Retreat. I'm probably never going to Level Up Retreat. So for some of you, this is very, very relevant, and some of you less so. But Level Up Retreat is going to be back. It's going to be March 20th to 22nd, so a little bit later than it has been in prior years. We're dipping a bit into March instead. It's going to be at the same location at the Delta Hotels by Marriott in New Jersey, so same location as prior years, slightly different dates as prior years. I'll have a link to the website down below, and it's back with some small differences. Nothing major. It's mostly going to be the same retreat that you know and love if you've gone to it, and if you haven't gone to it, it's mostly going to be the same thing that other people know and love, but there are going to be some small changes, primarily based around just general feedback over the past few years. And that's mainly going to be that we're focusing primarily on board games like we have. It was always focused primarily on board games, but we're kind of cutting out the extra stuff that generally has received less interest. So there's not going to be other things like miniature painting, RPGs, a bunch of panels. I'm not saying there's going to be no events. There may well be one or two or something like, we'll figure it out. But it's primarily going to be a retreat where you come with hundreds of other people, and then you sit down and play a bunch of board games from our library full of a whole lot of board games. Some things are going to be the same, some things are going to be different, we shall see. So we still will have a hot game section so that there are specifically games that are out there curated for you to see and set up and ready to go. We likely will still be doing play to wins, maybe not as much as prior years, we'll see, we're balancing all that out, but that is something that people have liked. Generally, I guess what I'd say is we are focusing on the things that people have liked and responded well to, and then kind of cutting out the extra stuff that hasn't been as much desired. So, what do you need to know? The first thing, and the most important thing, most important but not super important, I'm going to give a little bit of a fear-mongering, but very, very little of it. We are capping attendance this year. We capped attendance last year. We're actually capping attendance a little further this year. And basically, we're only using a smaller section of the hotel, which does limit how much we can use. Also, last year, there was a bit of feedback that it was a bit too crowded, so we're just limiting it a bit more. Again, nothing too crazy. We're capping attendance at 400. Last year's attendance was a little over that. I want to say it's around just shy of 500 last year, which means that both things are true. If you do want to lock in your spot, we are capping attendance to lower than last year's attendance. It's also not like you have to rush out and immediately buy a ticket this second. Just between you and me, and I guess everyone watching this video, generally we've had, in the past, I can't say what's going to happen this year, in the past we've had, I want to say, a good third of the people who sign up do sign up in the last month. Which means if you're watching this video now, you don't have to like rush out this second and immediately buy a badge. If you are interested, you almost certainly have time. But if we do see the same levels that we've seen in prior years, then there is a cap. So again, both things are true. If you're sure you want to come, definitely lock in your badge sooner rather than later. And if you're not yet sure, you definitely have time to figure it all out. So that's kind of the main thing to note over there. I will also say, badge sales are not yet open to the general public. Because we are limiting attendance, we opened it up to prior attendance first, as well as email subscribers. So if you are any of those things, check your email if you missed it, because there was a Level Up Retreat announcement, and you have a little code that gives you early access to getting a ticket. I need to hang up. You get a code that will give you early access to getting a ticket sooner rather than later. For everyone else, ticket sales should open up in roughly a week. It'll open up to the general public. I'll probably make some mention in other videos. I'm realizing the 5-minute thing might not happen, the 5-minute video. We'll see. Either way, that's kind of the main thing. March 20th to 22nd is going to be at the Delta Hotels by Marriott in Woodbridge, New Jersey, same as it has in prior years. We'll be using primarily the same space. We're just cutting off the extra rooms. That's why the slightly lower attendance cap or whatnot, and the main focus is going to be as it has in previous years, which is going to be sitting down and playing board games with an open library, a bunch of hot games, likely play to wins, and then everything else we shall see. I am sure I will have more update videos as we get closer. I just wanted to make sure that you knew, because I've had a lot of people asking. Anyways, that is your announcement video for today. We'll be back with regular scheduled content tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you do come if you've come in the past. It's great to see repeat faces. If you haven't yet given it a shot, this might be the year to give it a shot. It would be nice to add new faces to the mix. And as always, and until next time, I hope you have a good one.